As a researcher or as a student of sociology, I have all the time been, focusing or emphasizing upon the fact that Indian research today needs to focus more on quality than the mere quantity or number of papers. We need to focus on citations and the true research output. And the Honorable PM has already talked about the socially useful research that benefits the community. That research community needs to focus on that. And we have ethical issues that are coming up. Galgotia incident is the recent example. There are superficial showcasing incidents, I mean buying off the shelf gadgets and rebranding them as one's own in-house innovation, that showing in lofty summits and exactly trying to bite too much which they couldn't chew ultimately. Therefore, there are lessons that the universities need to learn, that the developing universities need to learn, or the private universities need to learn, that there has to be a stringent ethical regulation and ethical rigor that should be binding upon the faculty who are conducting research or the departments that are representing the university. Therefore, research that is disconnected from reality is a useless research, and wrong incentives at times, or the teaching factory mechanism, ranking and PR obsession. There are many things that need to be worked out, or weak ethics and infrastructure. There are institutions who claim big things but are infrastructurally very poor. Therefore, the larger question is how to prioritize real scholarship over showmanship that we have recently seen. Ultimately, I would honestly say research has to be curiosity driven. It cannot be, and it has to be evidence based work. It cannot be just showmanship, going to the lofty summits and branding someone's item as your own innovation or work. That has ultimately brought shame to the country, which shouldn't have happened at all. The real beginning that the institutions, that developing institutions or premier private institutions need to realize, that the real beginning that kickstarts innovation is not a good summit or a big event or your just showmanship or your big claims. Ultimately, it is to be a cultural shift. Choti shuruaat bade khayalat, which we say, a smaller cultural shift, or shifting from small and leading to the top, and owned by faculty and students, not just owners or bigger capitalists. Here is a practical sequence that this incident has taught us. We need research leadership is something that's very crucial. Research and innovation cells in every university, as we have IQAC working very well in established universities like Jamia, JNU, and other central universities. And there are practices wherein faculties or researchers can be made accountable. We are living in the AI age. There are regulations, but are we interested? We have to be. It has to be a few genuine champions in the country who promote innovation, who represent innovation at bigger summits like this, not developing institutions like the one which was there and which has brought shame ultimately. And we also need to focus on adjacent possible problems, not bigger things. You don't need to develop Orion or a dog, a robot, like the China has already. Maybe we are not at that level at the moment. We can start with solving something nearby which is solvable, which is, for example, AI for regional language translations, or affordable sensors for smaller farmers. That will help ultimately the community, rather than chasing global frontiers immediately and jumping to bigger claims actually producing nothing. Therefore, measure is something that needs to be there for the right things. We need to track student employability, innovative role, number of industry funded projects, prototypes are deployed, and societal impact stories. We have NEP, a beautiful policy there that emphasizes for the multidisciplinary education, easy exit and entry, research clusters, Anusandhan Research Foundation and foreign collaborations, newer private universities, even foreign universities to set up their campuses here. All this exercise, as envisioned by the NAP, is there for just one thing, and that is leading India or taking the nation on that innovative research path and useful research path, on being making India an academic hub, making Indian students innovative, employable, skillful, and with true honest skills, not just lofty claims. Therefore, employing one's policy at the university, at any university, would mean doing these things, working on grassroots for actual useful research, and working for the smaller problems in the country, providing tech solutions to such problems. You don't need to jump at the Orion or whatever it's called, the dog. You don't need to jump at that bigger innovation. You can start smaller and make it honestly as your own, as a true innovation, not just big claims. Thank you.